94.3 The Dude is very grateful to our men and women in uniform. We're proud to recognize local members of our military by turning the spotlight on them right now in our Soldier Salute.
Today on the Soldier Salute, we're speaking with United States Army Reservist Captain Erin Brosh. Captain, tell us about you.
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and joined the Army Reserve when I was 25. So well after I'd finished college and established a career, I took a leave of absence to go to basic training and officer candidate school. Right now I serve as a company commander for a signal company up in North Carolina, outside of Raleigh.
What does that mean?
That means I'm in charge of a group of about 50 soldiers, and we provide communication systems and networking for our higher headquarters.
Yeah, we understand reserves is 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, but it really is a lot more, right?
There's a big commitment beyond that, just in terms of keeping up with your soldiers and making sure everybody's staying on track between the drill weekends. So we'll typically come in, do PT in the morning on, that's physical training in the morning on Saturday, and then do training all day long, Saturday and Sunday, and if we're lucky, we're out of there by about 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon.
All right, so you joined after college, not right out of high school, but what gets you fired up after you go to college, get your degree, to start serving the country?
So I'm fortunate enough to come from a family where my father served an entire career in the Air Force. I have a cousin who was a pilot in the Navy and then a doctor. My granddad was a dentist in the Army, and my other grandfather served in the Navy during World War II. So it's sort of been ingrained in me since birth, I think. And as a kid growing up, my dad used to take me to all the Air Force bases. We'd climb around those giant cargo planes and see the fighters. And I just knew that service to my country was something that I wanted to do, and didn't commit when I was 18, right out of high school, but I was ready by the time I got a little older.
What did your dad say when you said, hey, I'm joining the military too?
He was happy I was joining the military, but he said, what did I do wrong with you, kid, when I said I was joining the Army, since he was an Air Force guy. And then when you get my cousin in the mix talking about Navy, we have a good round of ribbing and joking around when we're together.
Nearly a house divided.
Absolutely.
You decide to join the military after college. You take your ASVABs, you get to METS, you get processed, and, well, you're off to basic. Was there ever a, oh my, what did I do moment? Maybe like when you hit basic training?
Yeah, every time I put on that uniform, it reminds me that I'm doing something more than just for me and for my family. I'm very proud to wear the uniform. I love looking at my soldiers when we're all standing in formation. Sometimes I think to myself, wow, how did I get so lucky to be here, to be in charge of these troops? Someone trusted me to be in front of that formation with them, standing in uniform. I'd say my 4th of July is my favorite holiday. I'm super patriotic, so to me, it was not if I served in the military, it was just when.
Now, Captain, you've been in for 10 years. You've been deployed. You command a unit. Does it still give you that charge when you put on a uniform and look at yourself in the mirror?
Oh yeah, I will never forget the day that I got out of that government van at Fort Jackson. It was a warm summer night in August. I'd gone from corporate America, where I wore a suit every day, down to Fort Jackson, where I was getting yelled at by a drill sergeant for not moving fast enough. And you hear all these stories and you prepare as much as possible, but you can't expect everything until you actually get there on the ground and you're in the midst of it. Basic training was a great experience, actually. So the advice I give a lot of soldiers now before they go to basic training is that basic is very easy. You just follow the rules and do what you're told and you'll get through, no problem. So I had a really good experience, and I met some, we call them battle buddies, who I've kept in touch with over the years, and as we both have progressed throughout our Army careers.
Would you say it's kind of you've kind of almost created a family with that battle buddy, become a brother or sister?
Yeah, in fact, between a couple of those folks and then some folks from officer candidate school and each unit, as I've progressed through the ranks, I keep in touch with folks. And the Army is actually a very small world. You'll run into people over and over again. And the longer you stay in, I've been in for almost 10 years now, you seem to, cross paths with folks from earlier in your career pretty often.
Is that a cool thing?
Absolutely. I love seeing people that knew me as a lieutenant or as a specialist.
Captain, what advice might you have for someone who is considering service to the military, either as a reservist or maybe full-time or National Guard or in really, frankly, any of the branches? Do you have any thoughts you'd want someone to kind of have in the back of their brain housing group as they're processing this decision?
Don't be afraid to take a different path than folks in your family or that surround you, your classmates. The military needs bright, young individuals. It's a great place to start your career, to get training, to get educational benefits. There's so many jobs in the military, regardless of what branch. I mean, basically any career you can think of, the military has that career field as well. There's a wide range of things that you can do to join the military. It's not just being an infantryman or a pilot. Ultimately, I think military service is one of the most selfless and humble ways that you can serve the people who live next door to you, the people who live across the country, and every American throughout the world. It's a great way to build character and be proud of something that you do.
Thanks for joining us in our Soldier Salute. This salute to our local soldiers on 94.3 The Dude is presented by Liberty Tax Service and All American Heating and Air. American and proud of it.